Good morning. This is Alexis Parker, sitting in with Giovanni Gallucci and Chloe Dawn, and this is the Daily Trend Report.
Morning, Alexis.
Drove in slow with the windows down, Ruby riding shotgun, light just coming up over the flats. Good morning to be talking.
Morning. Cold brew, sunglasses on. Ready.
Of course you are. Today, YouTube's quietly moving onto the biggest screen in the house, and it changes what you make. Big Food is buying up your favorite independents by the armful, and one content section on who actually earns the right to say a thing out loud. Alexis, take us in.
So Eddie and Kendall both landed on the same shift this week, and it's one almost nobody's staged for. YouTube's pushing hard onto the television. The connected TV, the 65-inch screen in the living room. Social Media Examiner put out a whole marketer playbook on it.
And that's a bigger deal than it sounds. For 15 years, we all made content for a thumb and a phone held a foot from your face. The living room is a different animal. People are on the couch, 6 feet back, sometimes 3 of them, sound turned low.
Right, and the instinct is to just fling your vertical shorts up on the TV and call it done.
That's the trap. Vertical strategy doesn't survive the trip to the couch. A tiny caption you can read on a phone is invisible from across the room. A hook that needs earbuds dies the second the TV's playing to the whole family.
So the phone content and the TV content aren't the same content.
They're not. And here's why it matters for a small operator, not just a network. The living room screen is the fastest growing surface YouTube's got, and almost nobody independent is building for it. The big brands are still buying 30-second spots. The couch is wide open.
And it's the one screen a whole family actually agrees to sit at together.
That's the part people miss. 3 people, same room, leaning back. That's rare attention now. You never get 3 people around one phone.
What actually changes about the thing you make, though? Get concrete for me.
3 things. You design for distance. Bigger visuals, cleaner frames, text you could read from the kitchen. You pace slower because a lean-back viewer isn't racing to swipe. And you write a title that reads like a show, not a caption. Because on a TV, people browse a wall of thumbnails with a remote.
The title does the work the swipe used to do.
Exactly. On the phone, the thumb finds you. On the TV, your title and your thumbnail are the whole storefront. If it doesn't read clean in the browse row, nobody clicks the remote.
Kendall also flagged that the living room rewards longer sessions. People actually sit through it.
They do. On a phone, you fight for 8 seconds. On a couch, you can hold somebody for 8 minutes if the thing's worth sitting through. That's a gift for anybody with a real story, and a problem for anybody who only knows how to make a quick hit.
Slower is a feature there. Feels backward after years of faster, faster.
It's backward, and that's the opening. The whole crowd stampeding one direction, which means there's a lot of quiet room in the other one.
And the slow, lingering stuff actually plays on a big screen. A held frame that dies on a phone can breathe on a 65-inch panel.
It can. The living room forgives the patience the phone punishes. Shoot one thing that's meant to be watched, not scrolled past, and put it where people are finally sitting still. 3 things you can actually do today. 1. Cut one version of your best video for the 10-foot view. Bigger text, cleaner frame, readable from the couch, not the palm.
2. Write the title like a show somebody would pick off a shelf, and build the thumbnail to win a wall of them. On a TV, the browse row is the whole pitch.
3. Build for the sit-down. Chapter a longer piece so the remote rolls right into your next one, and put the payoff up front, where a room with the sound low can still catch it.
The money story this week isn't a product. It's a shopping spree. Eddie and Travis both had it. Big Food is rolling up independence fast.
Give people the scoreboard.
McCormick's roughly $44 billion tie-up with Unilever Foods is taking shape. Nestle's spinning its water business into a $5.5 billion joint venture. Vita Coco bought a premium coconut water maker called Copra for up to $275 million. And Kroger's swallowing Giant Eagle for $1.7 billion.
All in 1 week. And every one of those deals is a sovereignty transfer. The founder story, the sourcing standard, the community that trusted the label. That's exactly the stuff that tends to quietly erode about 18 months after the check clears.
The brand keeps the name and loses the soul.
Usually, yeah, the logo survives. The reason you loved it doesn't always. And I want to be plain about who this helps and who it hurts. A roll-up like this is good for the shareholder and rough on the shopper. The shelf gets more sameness, sold under more familiar-looking labels.
American made, family run. That used to be a nice line on the back of the jar.
Now it's the whole difference, because the brand right next to you on the shelf just got absorbed. American made means somebody's actual name is on it. That's harder to fake than ever, which makes it worth more than ever.
So if you're the independent still standing, what do you do with that? The report says lean on founder presence. We've beaten that drum.
We have, and I'm not sending everybody back to filming the founder again. There's a sharper move. The one thing a giant can't buy in the deal is a community that belongs to each other, not just to you.
Say more about that.
When Nestle buys a water brand, they get the trademark and the plant. They don't get a room full of regulars who know each other by name. So build that room on purpose. Give your best buyers a real identity, a name they wear, a thing they do every week, a reason to feel like charter members instead of customers.
Belonging you can't put on a purchase order.
Right. A merged giant integrating 5,000 products can't manufacture that in a quarter. It takes years, and it takes a human running it, which is the first thing the spreadsheet cuts.
And a giant can't fake knowing your regulars by name.
No, and it won't even try. Roll-ups run on efficiency, and knowing people by name is the least efficient, most valuable thing a small brand does. Lean all the way into the thing that doesn't scale. That's the ground they can't take.
And there's a whole set of orphaned fans right now, people whose favorite brand just got sold, and they're uneasy about it.
That's the opening this week. Those folks are sitting in comment sections asking, is it going to change? Is it still the same? Show up in that exact conversation, not to trash the acquirer, to be the honest voice that answers the question. 3 moves before we shift. 1. Give your regulars a name and a ritual. Charter members, a weekly thing they do, an identity they carry. Belonging is the asset the acquirer can't wire money for.
2. Find the threads full of nervous fans of the brand that just got bought and answer them as yourself. Pin the question, reply on camera, be the straight talk they came looking for.
3. Ring up the other independents on your shelf and build a standing shout-out loop. Trade audiences on purpose. The giants can't coordinate that fast. You can.
The most useful thing in the tactics file this week is 3 real campaigns that teach the same lesson from different angles. It's about who's got the standing to say a thing.
Start with the one that worked.
Suja Organic. A romaine recall's got shoppers spooked about their produce, so Suja declares what they're calling lettuce amnesty. Swap your produce anxiety for a free cold-pressed green juice, redeemable at most national retailers. Whole microsite live within days.
That's fast.
It's fast, and it reads as helpful instead of opportunistic, because the offer's concrete. Free juice beats another benefit claim post every day of the week. They turned a category fear into trial. And that only works because a clean label juice brand has the standing to make that exact offer. It fits who they already are.
Second one.
Biro, the non-alcoholic beer. They drop limited Spider-Man cans timed to the movie, sold only on their own site and in select theaters. Scarcity plus a tentpole film, and every sale walks into a channel they own instead of a shelf they rent.
So the movie's the borrowed heat, but the sale builds their own house.
That's the whole craft of it. You rent the cultural moment, you keep the customer. A limited run plus a first-party sale gives you data a permanent product on a store shelf never will.
And the one that flopped.
Meta. Zuckerberg posts a glossy film selling an optimistic vision of Meta's AI, trying to calm everybody's nerves about it. The coverage read skeptical the minute it landed. The optimism film came across as one more reason to worry.
Why'd the same founder-on-camera move that helps a small brand hurt him?
Because the messenger is the message. A founder film works when the audience already trusts the person holding the camera. When they're already wary of you, an optimism pitch just turns the volume up on the doubt. Same format, opposite result. Entirely because of who's standing there.
So it's never really the format, it's the standing.
Every time, Suja earned the right to make its offer. Biro earned the moment and kept the house. Meta tried to sell trust from the one messenger the room's least sure about. You can't buy standing with a production budget. You earn it before you need it.
Standing is just trust you banked before you had to spend it.
That's it exactly. Suja spent trust it already had. Meta reached for trust it hadn't built yet. The work is putting that credibility away on the quiet days, so the loud day actually lands. Here's what to actually do with all of that. 1. When a real fear hits your category, Answer it with a concrete offer, not a lecture. A free thing that solves the worry beats 10 posts explaining why you're great.
2. When you borrow a cultural moment, route the payoff into a channel you own. Rent the spotlight, keep the customer and the data.
3. Before you post the manifesto, check who's holding the camera. If the room doesn't trust that voice yet, hand the message to one it does.
That's the show. Quick pitch before we go. This whole thing, the trends, the read, the 3 voices, that's a daily trend report podcast built for a brand. I can build one exactly like it for your company, in your category, in your voice. It's the kind of owned content that keeps working while the rented feed gets quieter. If that's something you want made, come find me. gallucci.net or DM at gallucci.net on Instagram or LinkedIn. Talk tomorrow.